Good morning, Facets. Today is Friday and I'm in Montreal. So when I was packing for Canada, I forgot my tripod, so I'm not sure how quality this video is going to be. Max, I liked your breakdown of LeakyCon 2012. It was really great to hear many Nerdfighter stories, but I'm not too jealous about your experience because I had the experience of meeting other facets. Julia, I really liked your video about Newark and how you expected to change it, but it in turn changed you. And I think those are the greatest experiences when you go out to help someone out and they end up helping you in ways you would never have imagined. So this week we're talking about nerdy passions, and I personally like to study human interaction seen through a biological lens. For instance, when you look at sex and gender, it's interesting to see how many stereotypes are completely unfounded in biological terms. Like, it's interesting how our sex differences can quite easily be reversed once we reach adulthood based on our environment, which I think is really interesting because we're taught to learn that girls are like this and guys are like this. Now, obviously, there are physical characteristics that define men and women, but even those lines are blurred because there are people who don't define themselves as solely male or solely female, or even both. I'm also really interested in this term called neuroplasticity. It's where your brain will change itself due to its environment and due to what traits it sees as being best. It's because of the brain's ability to rearrange itself, which allows us to become completely different people than we even were, say, a year ago. Like, even when the body stops growing, the brain continues to make new connections and to rearrange itself. That's why you're never completely set in who you are, and you can always improve. And I think that's a really interesting concept, that people can change not only because of their own will, but because their brain will help them do so. And for me personally, that's really hopeful to say that if I'm not the person I want to be, I can always change that, not only through my actions, but through how I think. And it's not just who I am as a person that can change, it's also how I perceive language. Like, take learning a language for example. You learn your first language and your brain in turn makes all those connections. Your eyes are used to reading a certain arrangement of letters in order to create language. You can obviously speak and listen in a certain language. But when you start learning a new language, no matter what age you are, all those neurons are making different connections than they did before. And you end up learning a lot more than just simply learning another language and a new way to connect with people. Those old connections in your brain have also changed. So the way you see your own language and the way you interact with people in your native language has also changed, which in turn makes you a better person in society and a smarter one. So Chloe, we will see you on Monday, and Kayla Ray, have a safe trip home.